Okay. Today's agenda, I'm gonna sit just like this. If anything happens, then I'll just deal with it. But so haunted gaming is it's a bad, grotesque inquiry to whatever you're doing. But luckily, when you turn off the system, the game stops or something. And basically, if you turn off the system and then you say you like punctured the shell of your game to make it dissipate, and then you just leave it, the pulse in it got disturbed a little bit, and then it dissipated. And I think that if you were playing a game that you think that is very serious, and like the thing, well, it's a well-known game, but in Japan it's very popular, just like almost lots of games, but this one was very popular in Japan for, I guess, the quality and functionality kind of thing. And then, but it was almost even more popular in Europe and North America and stuff. And this particular series had toys, well, just figurines and stuff, and many runoffs, like game runoffs, where like there'd be a racing game with some characters, or like basically like a fighting, and then they even went to online. The only thing I haven't seen is multiplayer, but this one game on GameCube that's called Crystal Chronicles, that has multiplayer, but you need to do this Game Boy Advance thing. But I don't know. So 7 years ago, I played like Final Fantasy 12. See, the other one is Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. So I was playing Final Fantasy 12, Roman numeral 12, Final Fantasy, and I thought it was gonna be awesome. Like I got home with the game and stuff, and the way it loaded up all the graphics and like just the title screen art and stuff, where it shows the ship flying, and then it takes like 2 minutes before it shows like the first character, and then after it shows a bunch of other characters and all this stuff. Yeah, so I was playing that, and I kind of cheated my way through. Like, there's this one guy that spawns these zombies, and then you can just keep killing zombies and never kill like the master guy, and you just you put yourself on like the healing, or cure, or whatever you do, and then you just leave the system on, and it keeps killing zombies, and then your guys get stronger up to like level 60 or something, and then you just basically run through the game because it's so strong. Well, I did that, but then the next time, like it was around 4 or 5 years later, I played it again, and I took so much time. I pretended that it was like real life, and I was like, when I was running through the city of Final Fantasy 12, like Rabanastra, I was just talking to the people and trying to fit everything they're saying into real life, and like avoiding talking to certain people. I was like squinting really hard at the screen, getting all these angles, and before I was talking to them and stuff. Well, I took like 2 hours in the first town, and the most exciting part was when I cleaned up the sewers. Basically, you go in the sewer and then you start following a wall, and you follow that wall forever, and you basically clean up the sewer. And when you get to like a dead end and you have to go back from the sewer, basically that's time to rest, because you already cleaned along the way. So when you come back, I don't know, but you just kill the monsters. that you meet, and you don't miss one monster, and you just kill them all at once. And then after you're like, oh, okay, never going back there again. And I beat all the espers, those big summon guys that you have to beat before you can summon them. Yeah, and like they're really hard. Like basically, you have to be a certain level to beat them, right? And so you have to come back from later in the game to come back and do the espers. So I didn't do that. I defeated all of them immediately as I could, and I went everywhere at the beginning of the game. It says go this one place. I went all 3 other directions or something, like all throughout the desert in the first part, and basically I had a good experience from that game because I played around with, and like I actually, because you think about it, how are you supposed to focus on traveling? And like I think I had the radio on or something, and I was just listening to the radio and playing the game. And there's lots of neat things to do in that game, and I was also selling the loot in my own packages, like whatever you want to sell, you can sell, right? Well, you basically sell all of them right away, but I just figured, I don't know, maybe the Indian guy in the village doesn't want iron scraps, so don't sell him that. I don't know, I just figured. And you won't believe the amount of money I had at the end. It was like, I think it was like either 1.5 million gil, which I don't think is a lot, no, or it was 15 million. I think it was 15 million. But yeah, but basically, the total time that I spent playing that one file in the game was it was like either 150 or 250 hours. So, but I remember, like, it's a good game, you just don't die, you get game over, but I remember they actually died. Like, the people in the game, when you're leaving, because right today, I was just playing that same game, just starting a new file, and I just got out of the Barheim Passage or something. I like saying Barheim better. But I didn't get out yet, but I'm right at the end. But I remember when last time I played, before that, like, I was leaving the final like constructed area, and I was going up the dirt hill to the constructed exit because that's the part where like you go into the prison, and then after there's a big pit and one of the cage cells, and then all of you guys go on, jump on the cage to escape, and then someone drops the cage, and then you fall down this big hole, and that's the Barheim Passage, and like that's the only cutscene that you can't skip other than the ending, because when he's explaining about the charge meter, it puts the charge meter on the screen, and it's like it makes it so it's like gameplay, and you can't pause it when they're explaining something. Cause yeah, but anyway, so it's in that platform to go up to the exit. It's weird. You can get a map in that place and get a map, but I don't think you can go back there after. Oh wait, yeah, you can. I don't know, maybe. But I remember I was just fighting off the big toads that are in there, and oh yeah, you remember you can go back there because the zombies. So I was fighting the toads, and I was really losing, kind of. And I remember, like all my guys were almost finished with their life meter points, and they all just healed each other really fast and just got enough damage to finish off the monsters. And then, like, I was walking, and I remember, like some party members were getting distracted and just going, oh, what's this? And then after they just slip and fall off like the big interface of the rocks, and one goes in there and then in the water, and then after the main van, or Vaughn, or he goes and just tries to swim, and then he gets, and then the only one that's left is like Fran, and then after I remember Bolthier comes back, but he's looked all fucked up. Excuse but he looked like a deadcore like zombie like guy face, and he's like a line going through his whole jaw, like it's barely connected or something. And just like, oh yeah, let's get out of here, yeah, this way, and then you run like up the platform thing that's made out of dirt, and then just the way he's pointing, you just like, okay. And then I switched the main character to Bolthier, so I was controlling him, and then I ran, and just loud sound, just, you know, like a bad word, is just like fuck, and I was like, what the hell? But I didn't say anything. I just thought maybe like I was just thinking something or something. Who knows what it was, right? And then after I said, oh, it'll be fine as long as you don't switch the main character from both here. And then we got almost up the platform, and like I remember I just suddenly got the urge to look for switches, and that's basically where it ended, because it was like I was a ghost, and I continued to play the game because only the ghost would figure out how to play it without looking at all the distortion and the impractical violence that was held within the diameter of the TV screen. And the ghost just finished up, and I remember you just go to this little village that's on the beach and you rest up. And if you committed deeds, then you have to commit deeds. So that file that I spent all that time, think about it, 200 hours, I had lots of fun. Basically, I beat half the game perfectly in that file. If I played it any more, I would have got messed up because I spent so much time, and it got so realistic on that file that it was like you never die. You just, if something bad happens, you run away and come back later, or set up like your weird gambit things to fight, because it's impossible to put in every single command almost. Well, you sort of put them in with gambits, but anyway. So that's pretty freaky. And anything happened with this, with leaning on my hand? I don't know, but my neck is kind of sore, and I think I'm gonna even stay even more awake now. But it might calm me down a little. Yeah. Okay. Haunted Gaming. Haunted Gaming for everyone and everywhere. Have a haunted time for you to share with your ball.